Welcome to Ignorance Unleashed with your host Salvatore Cavalieri. In just 10 minutes, enjoy no nonsense insights with a dash of humor and absurdity. Approved by his psychiatrist and wife because they agree he needs this outlet.
Hey. So today we're going to talk about unveiling the past and see if I made a right prediction back in the year 2020. Okay, as you know, I don't believe in flips. I think that is deadly. You're killing yourself. You're leaving so much money on the table. Like this, a lot of cash thrown away in the table because you are not you're taking in consideration that time helps you. Okay, so flippers leave a lot of that money in the table in the rush to sell and to get the next thing and the next thing going forward. Besides that, also when you do flips, you have to pay Uncle Sam for a profit. So you have another partner in there that has not done much, getting a cut of your hard-earned money. So back in the year 2020, this new investor, he came to me and said, Salvatore, where should I invest? So I told him, hey, look, this particular area in Orlando, near the airport, you have a variety of jobs. You have highways. You have, of course, the airport. You have different companies in technology setting up business around there. It was excellent zip code. Excellent zip code. So he said, let's go for it. And he purchased a 4 bedrooms, 2 bath. The house was not new. The house, he could have probably could have received some lift, beautification, maybe an extra new paint, a little better the backyard, replacing the old bushes for something more nice, something nicer, or simply also the kitchen. The kitchen was dated, colors that they're no longer around. Anyway. Probably you would, easily a $15,000 would have gone into the property and being able to resell it. Why? Because when this person purchased this property was in the worst part of the pandemic, actually. I have the date here. So here in the office, we have a database where we keep the analysis that we do, and also, we analyze the numbers. So I'm going to share that with you. So we're going to go back in time and let's see if the prediction, the system that we have was correct for the value of the property, and just to see how this thing progressed since the year 2020 to the end of 2024. So we are kind of four full years into this. Okay, so let's look at that. So let me share my screen. So thinking about it, very good. So this is kind of the guts of our system. Okay, and right here, this is the property. This property was purchased in the analysis was done on 6/18/2020. Okay, so the analysis was done back then, June 18, year 2020. Okay, so let's look at the analysis. Okay, so this is the summary of the analysis for this property. Right here is the address. So back then, rents were $22.95. I have a tenant right now for this property that is paying $3,100. So this is what the price we estimated back then at $342. The purchase price at $342,000. I think that this gentleman bought it for less. Let's look at the tax record here that I have. Okay, so that was the full price before discount. So let's go here. Facts and figures, tax history. This is the show more. Yeah. Yep. Listed for sale, pending sale. There you go. This closed for $319. So back then, when I did the calculations, I did it probably with the full price in the market was at $342. So we estimated for the analysis of 4.1% growth, and then the rent would be growing also a healthy 5%. Okay. There are other assumptions. So let's look at the price. Before I show you that, okay, let's see what Zillow is saying that this property is worth. This property is worth, according to Zillow, today $453,000. So this gentleman did really well. He made almost $140,000, about $135,000. This is quick calculation just to say if my predictions were right. So here's the pictures of the property. You can see, no, not new, okay, and nothing was done actually. Has a nice lot, I would say, a big cover patio, but look at the furniture, like in the kitchen and the bathrooms is dated. It's no longer relevant these days, but still. Okay, so right now Zillow, which I take Zillow's valuations, with a grain of salt, gives a 453, but I have looked recently at the comparables, and yeah, it is true around that number. And also the rent estimate is 2,700. I have it at 3,100. Okay, this particular time is leaving shortly. But anyhow, so my predictions were correct in terms of rent going up. Let's see what I estimated the rents to go up. The initial year was this, 22.95. Then I said it's going to be 24.18, 25. So there you go. My number, actually, the number that we had for back then in the analysis were way more conservative than the reality. The reality right there is, let's say, $3,000. So it's even better than what I estimated here. Cash flow. This is the actual cash flow. We can skip that. It's doing well. Net operating expenses, standard value, wealth calculation. Okay, so this is my estimated value of the property. Remember, year one was 2020. Year two, 370. Year three, 385. Year five, we haven't not even reached year five on the property, and my analysis was way more conservative than the reality. Here you go again. 453 is the value that Zillow gives to that. And I think it's pretty accurate for a 4.2 in that particular zip code. But look at that. Okay. So the profit, the total will accumulated when you calculate the cash flow, amortizations, and other things, equity appreciation, it will give you $151,000 in year five. Okay. So he did pretty good. So anybody would have picked up this property and sell it without holding it. So flip, you would have lost a lot of money in that transaction. Okay. So I think that's proof that holding properties for the long term can really pay off for you. And that's an excellent news for someone who has the patience. So, because you don't have to, if you have the patience, you don't have to pay short-term taxes like maybe flippers do. Okay, or most flippers, actually, all of them, unless there is some magic formula that I'm not aware. Okay, if it is, just put it there. Let's share the wealth of knowledge. So my analysis back then in 2020 was spot on, actually extremely conservative for what the reality was. Rent was much more today than what I predicted to be. And also the value of the property increased way more than I predicted to be as well. Okay, so with that said, numbers don't lie. There you go. Proof is in the pudding right there. That's a real life example of holding long-term a property can really build wealth. Imagine if you had 2 or 3 like this. There are years that maybe is a little bit slower, but doesn't matter. Have a long-term plan. With that said, thank you.